That can't be his name. Is that really his name? Hang on, let me just... Honor de Bolsac once wrote that no man should marry until he has studied anatomy and dissected at least... I haven't thought about this quote at all. I stuck it straight in there. He's dissecting women. Henry Cloud once said, dating is about finding out who you are and who others are. If you show up in a masquerade?
No.
In a microwave?
In a microwave.
If you show up in a microwave...
In a masculine
Shane's sticking
microwave.
around. So what, let's go with Orson Welles. Orson Welles once wrote that if there hadn't been women, we'd still be squatting in our caves, eating raw meat because we made civilization to impress our girlfriends. And Henry Cloud once said that dating is about finding out who you are and who others are. If you show up in a masquerade outfit, nothing is going... wanker. Do you know what, Henry Cloud? I don't care what you've got to say. I'll give up. So what is dating? What is the best way to approach a date? What are the best and worst dates we've ever been on? To explore these questions and more, I'm joined by Laura Smith. Laura, how are you?
Hi, I'm all good, thanks. How are you?
Good, very good to see you again.
Good, and you? Thanks for having me back.
Oh, it's my pleasure, my pleasure. We've actually struggled to top the last episode that we did,
Oh.
so I'm going to have to bring you in on a full-time rotation.
Okay.
And we're also joined by G-Money, Georgie McCoy. G-Money, how you doing?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
It's good, yeah. It's been a while since you've been on the show.
I know, and it's so good to see you again.
Yeah, it's really good to see you again,
We
mate.
had a really good episode.
We had a banger of an
Yeah,
episode.
I had some
Actually,
lovely compliments.
I think your episode it is 91 listens away from being the biggest ever episode we've ever done. Right? That's how close it is. Yeah. And our episode together has the best retention of any episode we've ever done. Meaning, people listened. Higher percentage of people listened right through to the end.
Oh, wow.
On here and on YouTube.
Everyone just loves a penis.
So
I was going to say, if we said everybody
They
loves
do.
you because you were
No,
delightful.
I wouldn't
You did
be
a
that.
cracking job.
No.
No, we love the penis. We love the penis.
Penises.
Oh, I just want to say thank you to our sponsors, Graham's Windows and Doors. Graham's Windows and Doors are Yeovil's finest purveyor of windows, doors, and conservatories. So thank you, James. Thank you, Sherelle, for sponsoring us. We really, really appreciate it. So get yourself to grahamswindowsanddoors.co.uk. Now, on with the show. Georgie.
Hello.
Laura.
Hi.
Let's start with bad dates, bad date etiquette, and at what point do you know a date has gone terribly wrong? So, Laura, let's start with you. You go to a restaurant, the man turns up, and how long until you know it's a bad date or you've made a bad decision?
If he's rude to the waitstaff, can't bear it.
Yeah, it's a big one.
If he's rude to the waitstaff and it's like, you know, he's reeling off his order and something as simple as not saying like please or thank you. Oh, no. Can't.
What about appearance-wise, Georgie? What if what if you go on a date with someone who turns up with like a Linkin Park hoodie and a baseball cap?
Combat boots.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I always say I don't care what you look like or what you got. Do you know what I mean? It's all about that energy. But yeah, I mean, like, would you want them to make a little bit of an effort on the first?
Yeah, because I think you can read a lot about future dates from that first date.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? If
Depends where you're going on the date as well. Like, maybe not a Linkin Park hoodie if we're going to a nice
If you're going to a
restaurant.
Linkin Park concert,
You can't turn up with holes in your clothes and like.
If we're going to a Linkin Park concert, I mean,
then
different
dressed
story,
appropriately,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Absolutely, yeah. But I think that you're right. If you go up to like a nice restaurant, you're looking forward to it. Linkin Park hoodie, combat boots. That's a nice addition, by the way. Linkin Park hoodie, combat boots.
And we have to be careful not to be like the men. What about a woman showing up for your first date?
Oh, yes.
It's very hard to get that wrong. Because men are very simple creatures to please, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, this might just be coming from a formerly very desperate teenage man who had very low expectations. Hey, look, a human woman. It was about.
Do you like Pokemon?
Yeah, do you like Pokemon? And that's about as much as I could really ask for. You'd have to ask someone who was much cooler than I was when on a dating scene. You know what I mean? But I was always rubbish at dating. I was just always like, I was never comfortable being myself. I don't like eating in front of people for a start, so I was always just sort of self-conscious about that. So I'd always just say, "Let's go for a walk." And I remember taking a girl for a walk in Nine Springs, and she sort of got all afraid because it was dark and she was in the woods. So, you know, and so,
This is the middle of nowhere. Just for spooky
and then I
words.
remember saying like, "Oh, I brought you here to murder you."
As a joke.
Yeah, and it didn't land. So yeah, I don't know, because I'm just awkward. And
no.
So
Do you? I don't date.
do you?
Did you? You guys both big daters?
I did date.
I loved dating. I did
Did
love
you?
dating.
I like the free food. I remember one guy once.
See, I remember.
That's a great.
I remember it
reason
being
to
so
go on a date.
expensive.
Sorry. My bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember one guy bringing me a whole birthday cake to our date because it hadn't long been my birthday. I mean, I've been married what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I've been with Liam 5 years now. Married nearly 2, and I was single for maybe 18 months. And yeah, during that time, I had quite a bit of free food.
Excellent. Yeah, that's good. Why not?
Why not? Finding yourself.
Yeah, dating
Yeah,
is-
it was. Yeah, and finding, because I'd been with like the same person for 9 years. Obviously, we'd had 2 children together.
Right. See.
So I'd been with him since I was like 17, up until I was about 26.
Oh, so you were actually literally an all new person. You have to
Yeah.
discover who you are, and
Yeah, because I'd gone
changes
from
and-
like this teenage girl and then having 2 children quite young, and then literally got to sort of mid-20s and then had to find really who I was all over again.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
it's so good you took that 18 months to do that.
Yeah,
A lot of people wouldn't.
a lot of people wouldn't. But yeah, it was hard. It was hard, like, to sort of be on my own and bring up 2 children, work full-time, studying as well, and then date.
Yeah. So what do you do? So talk us through your dating process or the initial.
Okay, so I'm kind of like, I'm more like a vampire. I just latch onto one person for all of eternity. Like that's literally what I do. But no, I don't know. I've always been in relationships since I was young. So this is like the first time I've been single, and I've been single a year and a half, I think now, maybe. So it's just, even before, like with dating, like I don't like online dating. I don't like, because people are really good at pretending to be somebody else online.
Oh, it's
Do you
easily
know what I
done.
mean? So you could spend time talking to people, and a lot of them are crazy. Have you
Yes.
noticed the ones online? They're crazy. So I tend to stay away from anything online. You have to kind of catch me in person.
Yeah.
Catch me in person, and like one of my exes chased me down the street in their car. So like,
So not quite what you were thinking. Took the idea and ran with it. Yeah. I see what
yeah,
you mean.
sort of a bit like that. But yeah, I don't know. People, I just.
Do women ignore? Do you think when it comes to now we've all dated people who it transpires eventually in the end you thought, fucking hell, what's going on here? They've
Yeah.
turned out to be crazy, or they've turned out to be, we've all had those experiences.
Yeah.
Do you, as women, are you ignoring the signs early and hoping it gets better?
No, what's happening is the men are pretending to be somebody else for a good 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And fully going for it, fully sending it, like Oscar award winning.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when you kind of start seeing the issues, you're already in too deep.
Yes,
Do you know what I
see.
mean? And then
You're
it's
already in love.
hard.
Because
It's
you're going to
really
wake
hard.
up tomorrow and they're going to be better. That this yesterday's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yes, I
It's
see.
that kind of transpire.
Yeah.
But that can happen in relationships.
Yeah.
You can be with somebody who then turns into a complete a-hole.
Yeah, people can
whether it-
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's especially if it's people that are together for very long periods of time, spanning decades, do have to navigate that, I think, where actually we're totally different when we were teenagers when we met. We're totally different to when we were in our 20s. And you just hope that you evolve together and help each other learn
course.
who each other is.
Yeah.
But that is interesting. And you're right. And I grew up as a child of a single mum. I've got lots of sisters, and my best friends were always girls. So I found myself always saying, when one of my girlfriends wanted to move in with the guy very quickly or move the relationship along very quickly, I always found myself saying, whoa, you don't know anything about them yet. You think you do, but what you're getting is the shiny new version.
Yeah.
What you want to do is, how is he when really stressed?
I want to
How
know
is
who
he
you are on a
depressed?
bad day.
Yeah. The worst
Yeah.
possible day, is he reacting badly to stress? Is he punching walls? Is he stressed? Is he angry
Yeah.
very, very quickly? What's he like when he's depressed? Is he distant? Can he communicate it? These things you can't learn about someone in the first 3 months. That's why dating and courting matters because you learn those things and then you go, okay, I can make a commitment to this person now because I've seen him on a very, very bad day and he was still, everything that I thought he was going in. Who wants a fact
I love facts.
about dating? So a lot of these, I've got some really good ones here. Wait.
Okay.
So I've got some stories about bad first dates, okay? So I'm going to tell you some of these stories and then I want to hear your reaction and maybe what would you do in those situations.
Oh, God, okay.
Right, where is the one that really tickled me? A guy, this is from Reddit. A guy asked me over for a cup of tea after a lunch date. And in the time it took me to sit on the sofa, he had stripped naked in a very Joey from Friends-like style. Now, we call this the naked man, okay? In the TV show How I Met Your Mother, they call it the naked man. They reckon 1 in 3 times it works, okay? Your cards are out on the table, you do the naked man. So you meet a guy, you go, I'll come back to your house for a cup of tea. You turn around again, and he's nude, okay? What's your initial reaction?
No.
Yeah, no.
No.
I just
What are you doing?
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think you do that all the time. I just feel like it's a bit weird.
Yeah, like is this a regular occurrence? Like,
Are you a regular flasher?
So I think if you're willing to do the naked man, you've been doing the naked man.
A long
and it
time.
hasn't worked. So quit.
Yeah.
Stop.
And then, that's it. So it's a bold, it's a chips on the table move, but in real life it doesn't seem to go down very well, and you may get arrested. So be careful
First
there,
time
fellas.
Liam come to my house, I did him a Easter egg hunt.
An Easter egg hunt.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely did not. Until later.
It really would have spoiled the vibe if he was doing the naked man.
Yeah, no.
He
I'd
wooed you
been like,
first. He fed you chocolate.
That's a good way. Yeah, that's a good
the
start.
curtains are open. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, now this will ultimately lead to an uncomfortable question, but I've been thinking about it and I can't help but think about it.
Okay.
And it's about urine.
Urine.
PP.
Golden showers. Yeah.
Yes. So I agreed to meet. This is another story from a lady called Leah on Reddit. Okay. I agreed to meet up with a guy I knew through mutual friends. We decided to drive around for about an hour, just talking, getting to know one another. It's going really well. It was going so well, we started to make out. He then whispered to me, I don't know if I can say this, it's dreadful. He then whispered to me, would you pee in my mouth with a funnel? Right, the funnel's a really funny element that will
Like a
address in minute.
shiwi.
A shiwi in a funnel. The funnel element, for some reason, really tickles me, so I want to loop back to the funnel. Luckily, my cousin texted me and said said that I had to leave. As he got out of the car, he asked me, how much do you usually pee so I can go buy you a funnel from the store? I blocked him as soon as I got out of the car. Now, what I really enjoy about that story is the funnel. How precise do you need it? You know what I mean? Where's it going? So
I have no words.
So, but here's the question that I was asking myself today. I don't know if I can survive the edit, but this tickled me. How attractive does a person have to be
To pee in a funnel in your mouth.
I wasn't going to go. I don't think I was going to go mouth. I think I was going to maybe elsewhere, not
Okay.
mouth. I wouldn't consume it. I was going to go elsewhere, splashing. But how?
I was fully sending it to the imagination.
You were, yeah. No, I appreciate where your head's at with it. But I was thinking more like, is there a correlation between how attractive someone is and how likely you are to let them wee on you? If that was
No, I think it's more how much I like you.
Okay.
Not
Sorry, you'd let someone do it.
We're really unearthing some things here today. No.
I don't know how much I can reveal on here. My mum's going to watch this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. So let's say broadly then, because I was going, oh no, Joe, I never would. It would weird me out. It would ask too many questions about the person. Why do you like that? Is it a humiliation thing? You know what I mean? It would raise questions. But then I thought,
there's women that you can pay to let them do that to you.
yeah, but how sanitary is the wee if it's from a lady of the night?
You don't know if he's got gonorrhea, syphilis, clap. I'm good.
Yeah, that's it. But
Don't think you can catch those through pee.
Well,
I don't know.
If you can, I'm going to learn. I'll leave that.
No, is my answer.
But I was thinking. So
I would do anything for you if I love you.
Well, yeah, no. Do you know what? I get it. Been there. I've made some terrible decisions. I've made some terrible decisions in the name of love. I get it. Say you're single and someone messages you on something like Instagram, right? How far into, at what point in the Instagram message, because I've got a feeling we would have different opinions here. At what point, a man messages you out of the blue, when do you know he's messaging you to flirt? At what point do you go, oh, I see why he's messaging me. He's messaging me because he wants to flirt or wants my number or whatever. Because I can tell you that the answer is the very first message that he sends, right? But what point do you go, oh, okay? And is it disappointing sometimes if you get along well with a guy and you think, oh, we could be friends, and then he makes a move or changes the relationship dynamic? Have you ever had that where a guy's disappointed you like that?
Oh, see, I don't allow it.
Oh?
I'm quite, from day dot,
Draw the line.
I draw the line, yeah. If someone, like you say, if someone messages you, how do you know if they're flirting? Because I'll respond and say, what do you want?
Oh, okay.
Or,
I think you can be quite oblivious, though. Obviously, we've been friends for quite a while, and I think you can be quite oblivious to when someone's...
Georgie, can you be quite oblivious to when someone's flirting with you?
Yeah, definitely.
She's just like, oh, he's a really nice person.
I was like, oh, they're just nice. They're just, friend. And they're just like, no, they're definitely trying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
So I did Georgie's messages for a while when I was on mat leave.
Right, I see.
That was tragic. It was tragic. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad for anybody that's done my messages and has to go through. The thing is, when guys message, it's not good normally. It's quite creepy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it. So
Really?
this is why it's hard.
I mean, because now men might be like, oh, I'm not going to message her for a tattoo.
I know, I feel bad.
It might be like 99% of your messages are people wanting to book for a tattoo, men wanting to book for a tattoo.
Wonderful.
You do get the odd one that does want to take you out, but they kind of do it in a roundabout way. And then Georgie's just like, no, it's all right. So it can be quite oblivious to the flirting.
Yeah, because I'm only interested in either tattooing you or just an acquaintance. Like,
Sure.
do you know what I mean? Like, hi, yeah, all good. Like, do you know what I mean? It's I'm not in it for the flirting, and I wouldn't get it if you were.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, and especially I think it's maybe the online thing. That's why I like being in person, because online you don't. There's not like an emotional.
You can
do you know what I mean?
totally pretend to be somebody else. Your personality doesn't come across. So I think this takes us naturally onto the subject of dick pics.
Oh dear.
Are they ever necessary?
No, never. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to see
No penis
your penis.
is a nice looking penis.
No
Just
matter
gonna
how
throw
attractive the
that
guy
out
is attached to, nobody wants to see it.
Yeah.
No
it's
Do
naked men.
you remember seeing your first willy?
No, I blacked out.
You don't like that word, do you? Sorry,
I do not. I blacked out then. No, I don't.
What do you want me to call it?
I don't know, because I've been taught this ever since. No, because dick sounds too...
Wilbur.
Dick.
Wilbur.
I like Wilbur. I always say Wilbur.
Well, if you're going to give it a man's name, I like the name Arthur.
Russell.
So, but I don't know what, these are all very old man's names.
Russell the love muscle.
Good Lord. Listen, I'm so sorry. Russell the love muscle.
Russell the love muscle.
Good heavens.
When did you see your first penis?
Russell the love
Like
muscle.
a dick pic.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. To be honest, I've blanked out a lot from before, like 18, like maybe even 25 back. Like I can't remember much, but I'd imagine it would have been on some sort of social media, maybe quite young, and it's popped up. But nobody wants that.
Right,
It's traumatizing. That's why we've blanked it out.
It is. I don't. All right, Laura, you go. So, what about you? What's your experience with dick pics? Do you ever go? Thank you. That's a nice.
No, my first dick pic, I was 26.
Ooh.
And it was a Snapchat, and he just
Oh, yeah.
titled it Mushroom and was holding the head of his penis.
See, this is why I don't have Snapchat.
I was like,
One of the most alarming things I've ever heard in my entire
yeah,
life.
just titled it Mushroom.
Mushroom.
Yeah.
That's very disturbing. Right, so I've often tried to get myself into the mentality of a guy who sends girls dick pics, right? I don't get it. I don't understand how you can just be it's not like I'm ashamed or anything, but I just think I couldn't go, I might say hello.
No.
I've got a better idea. She'll love this.
Want your trousers out and
Yeah.
then snap a pic. No.
Because there's no nice way to
No.
do it as well.
Where do you get the
So,
bravery
yeah.
and the confidence to do it? I don't understand.
Can you imagine us sending
A foo-foo pic?
a foo-foo
Wow.
pic?
That's very different.
I was
because-
going to say...
How?
I know. I don't understand it, but it is because if a single man gets an unsolicited picture of let's call it a vagina.
Let's call it a vagina.
You go, Merry Christmas. Today might be a good day after all. But it's maybe because my theory is the vagina is less threatening.
Less threatening.
Yeah, as attached to a much
Have you not
less
seen
threatening-
Teeth?
Oh, that's
I have
a great
seen-
film.
I have seen Teeth. Yeah. But I think a girl sending a vagina picture is much less threatening than a man sending a dick pic because
No.
I think.
Oh,
So-
I don't know. Okay.
But you know, like, I don't know if it's different for men and women. I know there's always like a double standard sort
Yeah.
of thing. But like, if a guy sends me a dick pic, I assume you're sending that to everybody.
Yeah.
So is it that, do you think that about the, like, but obviously we wouldn't go there, but would a guy still go there?
Good.
Even if a bird sends him like a picture of her Flangelina Jolie, would you still be like, shit, yeah, let me meet up with you? Like, because I couldn't think of anything worse.
Yes.
But then sometimes this is the norm, isn't it? For this is the time we're in now.
Yeah.
It's the norm for some people, I suppose. Just
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. All I know is that men, it's a much different, it's a different experience for a man to receive it. But you're right, and you don't actually acknowledge that at first. But if you're getting it, especially unsolicited,
Yeah.
30 other people that night are probably
Yeah.
oh yeah.
and but that's you
And
got to
I
cast
think
a
the
rod
younger
to catch a fish.
generation now are all using Snapchat.
I
Yes.
don't like it.
I
think
don't
it's-
like
Why?
it.
It's a
It's
fucking
creepy.
paedophile app. It's
Yeah,
very
it really
it's
is.
awful because
Yeah.
you can obviously screenshot it. You'll see that there's been a screenshot.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go, why have you screenshotted that? But it's too late. It's already gone.
Yeah.
It's screenshotted.
I just kept getting like porn things at me constantly. Like,
I get them on Instagram.
weird
yeah.
things, and I just thought surely this is coming up on youngins ones
Yeah,
as well. And I just
yeah.
think no, I don't like the idea. You can just add anyone, and
Yeah.
no, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's creepy. Want another weird story for the world of dating?
Go for it.
Okay. Oh, here we go. I've thoroughly enjoyed reading this one, and I hope you'll enjoy hearing it. This Shitty Date is called by a lady called Erica. A true story. We went to sushi, and he had just got back to his place before drinks. Turned out we had to go back to his place because he was afraid of public lavatories. I sat alone in his living room listening to him straining whilst trying to shit. Wait, sorry, yeah. He then realised he was out of toilet roll and texted me to grab him a roll from upstairs. Let's not even get into the smell. Literally the shittiest day ever by Erica from Reddit.
Oh, no.
Mood killer?
100%.
Whoa.
I'd be like, are you all right? No.
Why is he scared of public bathrooms as well?
Some people are. They don't want to
Yeah, I used to be when I was like young.
sit on a toilet that a lot of the general public use.
But if it was a choice between I need to poo here or on a first date in front of someone in the house,
yeah, to be fair, I would have just gone.
I'd kind of go to the public.
yeah.
You would risk it.
Yeah.
Like-
Because otherwise you're
Leave
going,
the tissue.
otherwise it is, hey, come back to my house, listen to me poo.
Did you say put tissue down like a prison toilet?
That's
No,
what I do.
no,
yeah, yeah.
I'd lay like
that's what I do.
tissue
Yeah.
around the toilet seat for like public. But yeah, I'd throw toilet roll down the toilet before I tried to go. But if you're straining,
Oh, there are methods to avoid this awkwardness and complication. There are ways around all of these things. So this guy obviously I think he was an exhibitionist. He was proud of what he was doing and wanted someone to share that moment with him. So is there any aspect of dating that you want to explore? Because I think whilst we've got a female perspective, it's useful to explore it. So we've got the butter knife bandit. Where's the other side? This story is called the butter knife bandit, and it's wonderful. This is called the butter knife bandit. Things were pretty normal during the first half of the night, but then things got weird. He sat next to me in the restaurant booth and proceeded to slide a butter knife up and down my thigh. Bold move. He then went on to ask what my response would be if he told me he had 5 dicks. I never saw him again after that. So, let's role play this scenario. Okay.
Are these people dating from like a mental asylum?
Fuck it.
Like, what's
I know. Hey, you, random on the street.
Is this what it is? Slim pickings online? What's going on here? Is it just what's left?
Tyler, what's that?
Yeah. So have you never had a really bad date like that then, where you've gone, I need to get out of here. This is going very terribly. I mean, or you met up with someone and you thought, oh Lord, this isn't going the way I thought it would go. I need to leave.
Yeah, that normally happens to me halfway through the relationship. To be
That's rough.
honest, yeah,
That's rough.
yeah, but no, I think it's sorry. Same
Georgie,
as,
I'm willing to bet there were signs early on.
yeah. Yeah, my friends say I can never visit a prison because I'd come back with like 2 pen pals and a husband on D block or something. I don't mean to, but I think the same as Laura. Like the rude to the waitresses.
Yes.
I had a similar scenario once. This is years when I was younger, like when I was dating when I was young, and they like when you go to. I went to McDonald's after because I wanted a snack.
Sure.
And they were so rude to the tannoid. Yeah. And you know when you get to the window, like, and it was just the biggest ick.
It's too much.
It was the biggest ick, and I just thought that's
Yeah.
someone's mum, son, daughter,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, cousin,
I just thought it was
auntie,
weird.
uncle.
And if that,
Yeah,
I always
don't-
think if that was me
Yeah.
working there, would you be rude to me like
Yeah.
that instead of when I'm sat here in your car?
Yeah, of course
and,
you would.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
of
just
course
think
you
no, I don't like
There's no
it.
need for it.
Good. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's right. So what about you? Bad dating stories? Have you ever been in a situation where you thought, I have to get out of here?
I mean, yeah, and it was the very first date I went on after, coming out of this long-term relationship. But I mean, I don't know, because people might judge me, but he just walked a bit weird and he smoked a bit weird, and I was just
Spoke
like...
a bit weird?
Yeah.
Walked a bit weird and spoke a bit weird. How weird were we talking?
Like the things he said or like the tone?
Kind of
Tone.
didn't speak to me at all. I'm guessing he was quite nervous, but he had like 3 dogs and they were all collies, and I really liked them because obviously I've seen them on pictures, but...
You went for the dogs.
You wanted to date the
The
dogs.
free food and the dogs.
I wanted to go and pet the dogs.
So how are we saying, hey Laura, Merry Christmas, I'm having such a lovely time.
It was a little bit super sloth.
Yeah. Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Hanging cones. And what talk to me about what?
Dandelion.
Was it knee heavy? Was it a knee
Yeah,
heavy
it
walk?
was, yeah.
I see. Yeah. that's
It's
true.
hard, isn't it? Because, like you say, you don't want to be judgmental. But
No,
at the
I don't
same
want to be
time-
judgmental,
But at the
but
same
also-
time, you've got
I've got-
preferences, and
yeah.
you've got a jam, you've got
Yeah.
a vibe, and
Yeah,
if
that's
it's not
right.
there, it's
And I
not
obviously
there.
wasn't going to go with the first guy I went on a date with, but
No.
he seemed nice and he had dogs and he lived on a farm and there was all that space.
The
and-
friend zone.
Yeah. Never saw him after
Talk about
that.
the friend zone as well. The friend zone is a cold, harsh environment. The friend zone. I've been in the friend zone. Joe, I was in love with my best friend. Gary was his name. No, in school, my first real time I felt love was from my best friend at the time, Harry. He was a girl. That was a boy's name, but Harry was a girl.
Yeah.
And so, being in the friend zone is a well-deserved place that a woman has every right to put you in. But being there in the friend zone, it's very cold because I'm not then adjusting, or men in general aren't adjusting to being in the friend zone. We're waiting for an opportunity to step out of the friend zone. You know what I mean?
Well, this is what scares me because I think, are you really my friend? I always think it's about guys. I'm like, how do guys establish whether they're in a friend zone or we are generally just friends? Like, can guys and girls be friends?
Yes.
Yes.
Or are guys just always waiting for an opportunity?
No, I don't know. I don't.
Let me
It
tell you.
scares me.
Let me tell you. Guys and girls can be friends, but it's much rarer than you'd be comfortable acknowledging.
Yeah.
I think one of you is always looking to
Progress.
or see what would happen, or always more considering that.
Yeah.
That's my experience, and it's very, very sad, which is why I asked that question earlier. Have you ever been disappointed because a guy has pivoted a relationship and changed it? And then because I always felt guilty because when I was younger with my friend when I was younger, I did that. I mean, we were really good, we were best friends, and then I couldn't help that. I would then become really attracted to her, and I sort of fell in love with her a little bit, and then that was all consuming. So everything we did, I then did through the lens of, does that mean she likes me now?
Yeah.
And that was never crossed my mind. And it's such a male-female dynamics are very, very complicated because our biology, our evolutionary biology, is going time to make babies,
Yeah.
time to
Yeah.
procreate, time to and you,
Hormones.
yeah.
I guess feelings grow as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Especially when you get to know someone and they've got a wonderful personality and you love your time together.
Yeah, that's
will
it.
just grow naturally, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
that's-
think there's
that's
just
great.
creating that boundary that you just don't step across. And if you get along great as friends,
Yeah.
then that's amazing. Just
Yeah.
make
I
it
think
clear from
people
the start.
forget that they can just be friends. I think sometimes people do assume,
Yeah.
don't they? If you get along with someone, I must date this person because I get
Yeah.
along with them so
Yeah.
well.
People
and they kind
totally
of forget that
underestimate the power, how brilliant a friendship. My best friend is a girl.
Platonic
So actually,
friendships, right?
yeah, exactly, platonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'Cause my best friend Roxy is a girl, and we've never had an issue. And we've been best friends for years and years and years and years. And but I am aware that we are the exception to that. We just make each other feel very comfortable, and have provided this vast open space to be totally vulnerable and open, and it's really
Yeah.
nice. That's what all my best friends historically have just always been girls, because I've just always needed that. I just always been much more emotional than all the other guys seem to be, or much more vulnerable and want to talk more about it. So
Yeah.
if you can get a girl as your best friend, it's fucking ace. You know
Yeah,
what I
my
mean? It's
husband's
so
got
good.
a girlfriend.
I
who-
quite enjoy getting advice from a
From
male
men.
perspective.
Yeah.
I need male advice. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this happening? What does this mean? And I
Yeah.
quite like getting there
Yeah.
because I think women and men do think differently.
I think so.
about different
Yeah,
things. It's
yeah.
quite nice to see. From
I
their
do.
point of
I think
view.
I do get along better with men. Majority of the time, I need my girls around me. Don't get me wrong, but I find myself I do get on with both male and female,
Yeah.
and I do appreciate, like you say, having that male perspective
Yeah.
and having that male's opinion. As much as I need my girlfriends around me, I think females do need men around them to feel safe
think
and
so.
comfortable.
Oh yeah, feel safe. Oh, this when my guy friends, if we're out, I love how
Yeah.
safe they make me feel.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get bombarded out in places sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's nice to have them round to make sure.
Yeah.
Especially
it's
if you've
good.
gone out clubbing,
Yeah.
and it's the end of the night, you're trying to make your way home. Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah.
Girls do get scared. You're trying to find that first taxi to get into, knowing that you've gone out with your boy mates and they are literally going to take care of you.
Yeah. Do you know, I never considered that until this is funny. The comedian Dave Chappelle told a joke once that absolutely changed how I thought about how women must feel when walking home by themselves, right? And he said he was once smoking weed with a load of rappers, and he did a gig for them when he was younger, he was a teenager, and they paid him $500,000 in cash in a rucksack. And he had to get all the way from the club where he was performing to his house via the train and the underground, all that sort of thing. And he said, sat there on the seat in the train with all these, it's late at night, so it's really rough crowd everywhere, holding a rucksack full of $500,000. He said, I still thought, God, I'd be even more nervous if I was a woman sat here,
Yeah.
because there's nothing more valuable to a man
Yeah.
than what a woman has.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh shit, you're right. Imagine sitting there with 500 grand, and you'd be shitting yourself, especially if you're in the Bronx, or especially if
Yeah.
somewhere sketchy. And imagine you're, a good-looking woman sat there on your own at night. You wouldn't relax for a minute, and then that totally changed how. And then I read an article once about a woman who said the majority of women walk around in a world where the stronger sex is bigger than them, and you're always getting stories of harassment and sexual harassment and stuff. So of course you're going to be nervous and edgy when you're walking around. And I changed my whole sort of perspective on that now.
Yeah.
So anyway, heavy note, but we got where we want to
Heavy
go.
note.
So is there anything we want to explore before we tie a little bow on it? Is there anything you want to ask a man about dating? Is there anything from a lady's point of view that you're wondering about the dating or chatting process?
I got one. So how does a guy have a certain perspective? Because sometimes you speak to girls about this and they will say, how long should you wait before you do the deed?
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm not sure. When I was traveling Europe when I was younger, I was horrible as a young man. I was very violent. I was always shagging. I was always like, I'd use women in Europe just to have places to stay. You know what I mean? So I'd hook up with someone just to have someone to stay for a little while. Then I'd fuck it up somehow.
This sounds
and
like
then
someone we know.
I always used to just think, I just want to have sex with you. I want to have somewhere to sleep. It was straight away. So that's why the lesson is, if I was to ever have a daughter, is to say, no, make him wait. Because that is what he wants. you want to make sure that he wants something else too. You want to make sure he wants to watch films with you and hang out with you and get to know you a little bit more. But now, and I'm older and I'm much less testosterone and I'm happy and contented. I think the best sex you can have is when you're in love. You know what I mean? And you're not inhibited. You're just enjoying each other, and and there's no pressure or expectation, and you're just having fun. And I just think it's always worth waiting. You'll learn your sexual compatibility with someone, but you won't learn anything too profound about their personality. You won't learn about how much they care about you in that moment.
But
you know?
let's say you go 3 months getting to know someone.
You really fall for them.
And the sex is bad.
Yeah.
Then what?
That's harsh,
That is a
right?
kick in the dick. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
You know the term, what they say, try before you buy.
Yeah. Well, that's
This is
yeah.
a problem.
This is different perspectives.
But then is it? I mean, it has to be. There's always, in my experience, there's always ways to, and this is from talking to guys over years and years and years. There's ways to, if you're new to it, if you're nervous, I mean, you can just be shit in bed. You can have no rhythm. You can have no strength or rhythm.
Mushroom.
You can just be useless. You have a mushroom. So there's not an awful lot you can do from there.
No.
But if it's just a case of just do it a few times, ask each other what do you want, what makes you feel nice, what makes you. The communication is good, and once I find women
you can learn.
Yeah, you can learn each other.
Grow.
It's like
So
like a dance
there
partner.
is a rule. I did have a rule when I was back doing the dating, and it was the 4-date rule.
Nice.
Because you're not going to have 4 dates in 4 days. It's going to be 4 dates. They're going to be spread out across a few weeks.
Yeah.
You would have texted nearly probably every day, or at least spoken. You might have gone for a walk. You might have gone for a coffee. You then might go out for a dinner and then a lunch. And then you're like, it's been a month by this point. You've had 4 dates because you're
That's
working,
good.
whatever.
And the chemistry's built up.
And the chemistry's built up. The sexual tension's there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Dating is a minefield because dating would be so much easier. Because that's why I love being in a relationship. I've never been happier than I am now because I can just say whatever I want to say, feel however you want to feel, be totally intimate. And the thought of having to build that again with someone else, it's just a nightmare. You know what I mean? I just when you find when it's right and it's special and it's magic. That I think now that the winning dating means finding someone that you love and it works with.
Don't ghost people.
But it goes people because that's harsh.
No.
Yeah. But but after a first date, do you want a man to say, I'm not really feeling it?
Yes.
You do want that?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be ghosted.
Tell me that it's not working for you.
Yeah.
Don't just stop talking to me.
I think I'd rather be ghosted than have a girl say after the first date, that didn't go very well. I think I'd rather just...
No, because I thought normally don't people just say like, oh, I just prefer you as a friend, like I didn't have that chemistry.
Wounded.
Yeah. But we don't owe you anything. It's just one date, right?
I
had a lovely time with
true.
you.
You're a wonderful person.
However, XYZ, whatever. But just say, don't just ghost people. It can be really detrimental, I think, to mental health.
Okay, that's good. And what you just said was really important. When you said, we don't owe you anything. That isn't just true in that. That is true in every single aspect.
This is another thing I struggle with, like dating and stuff, because sometimes when you say like, oh no, sorry, it's not for me, some people get funny, and I don't know why. I know it's like you're not obliged to like somebody.
Then you can block and delete.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
it.
But what do you do in person?
Still a red flag, but I am interested.
Yeah. Christ. Well, it is. I think we've done a good job of exploring different. I'm not sure how much of it can survive the edit in the end, but we've explored a lot of different facets there. So, what is your final words on dating? Say you're talking to your 16-year-old self or 15, 16-year-old self.
Okay, that's a good one.
What do you say to her? Say, over the next 10 or 15 years, you can expect this. This is how you should approach dating, or this is how you should approach meeting men from now on. What do you say to young Georgie?
I would say just remember that energy is transferable. So contact is careful who you touch and what you do, because obviously energy is transferable. And then I think, like you said earlier, just take your time. definitely take your time, get to know someone, because people can put on a good show and a good game for a long time. So I think as long as you're just getting to know them really well, asking the important questions, not what's your favourite colour, the real stuff that you need to know, how they handle stress, you know, all these sorts of things, and just go from there. And like you say, you don't owe anybody anything. It's okay to have spoke to someone for a while, and if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. Tell them I'm not feeling it, I'm sorry. And then if everything's going great, wonderful. Just see how it goes. That's all you can do, right? Just be yourself and be kind.
Absolutely. Amen. Stay in school.
Don't be cross, kids.
How about you?
Heartbreak will teach you a lesson. Every heartbreak will teach you a lesson, but you've got to kiss a few frogs before you find your prince.
That's right. I think my first heartbreak, I was totally wrecked by it.
Yeah, same.
Poppy was the name, and I was so in love with her. I didn't know what to expect from being heartbroken, but it was devastating.
Yeah.
And it took years to properly be healed from that.
Oh, so it's a bit like grieving.
It is.
It's like
And
that
you're
person you
grieving.
knew has died.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what do I
back.
do
But
now?
you're
Like, how
grieving
do
for
you-
somebody that's
yeah.
still alive and you could potentially talk to.
And that's
bump
horrendous.
into
'Cause
them.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
and that's
it's
awful.
hard.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
But that grief was awful. That's what
Yeah.
started me on drinking and doing loads of drugs when I was a
Yeah.
kid because of that. Because it's awful, isn't it? So I
Yeah.
think one key thing of when Leo grows up is I will say, try and teach him to prepare for heartbreak, not avoid it, but say this is what it is.
Yeah.
And the trick is I didn't have anything else going on, so I'm just
Yeah.
heartbroken. Not having a job, sat doing nothing.
Yeah.
But if you've got a full life outside of it, you can manage it and you can at least distract yourself and move on. So,
Yeah.
heartbreak is that is the downside of love and relationship because it's, oh boy, that first heartbreak was just fucking. I try not to even think about it. That's how
No.
evil it was.
Yeah.
I remember just being sat. There's a bench up Abbey Manor Park. I remember just being for like 6 months, once a week, I'd just go down there because we used to sit there, like me and her all the time. Bear in mind, I'm young at this point.
Yeah.
So together we'd sit on that bench, and when we broke up, I'd just sit on the bench and just go, oh,
Oh, and just reminisce.
just sort of long for her, like no. But in hindsight, I wouldn't have gone out with me either. You know what I mean? I just wasn't no motivation. But I wouldn't because I had no motivation to work.
Yeah.
I'm not because I'm not conventionally attractive. So I have to have decent other attributes, right? And that time I just didn't. I was too depressed to be funny. I wasn't working. I had no motivation to do anything. So all the qualities now. The qualities that I do have, often born out of not being conventionally good looking, but I've got sparkling personality.
You have.
So
Is this the thing? Your dating life affects you in a certain way that you grow to be the person you're meant to be.
I think so. You can be steered totally that direction.
Yeah,
can't you? So,
and you can't find
It
the
does
one you're meant to
shape
be
you.
with until you are the best version of yourself.
I said one of there was the drive home from Misha went on our first little holiday about a few months after we met, just a little weekend thing to Bristol. And on the way back, I just knew I was so in love with her, and I was just staring at her, and I was almost emotional because it's not just like emotional happy, it's emotional scared, it's emotional anxious. It's the precipice of an enormous thing. I'm about to be in love again.
Yeah.
I'm really afraid of this, but I
I
just
remember
feel
feeling
so,
like that when I met Liam.
Yeah, but I knew that my heart was safe with her because I knew she loved
Yeah.
me back, so it was okay. But it's still a big leap.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to her when we finally said that we loved each other, I remember saying to her, I feel so much better about my life now because I've had I don't have regrets because all of those things, every time I got arrested, every stupid thing I ever did it led me exactly here.
Yeah.
And to knock one of those things out of place might mean that I never met you at all.
Yeah.
And that would be devastating. And so meeting Misha put me in a place of absolute peace with myself. All of the insecurities, all the other stuff just sort of ebbed away. Because what mattered now is that she was safe and happy and that we were, together. So,
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I'm holding out for.
You will,
I
you'll
love
get
it.
there.
yeah, but all you said, you got
Just leave the prison boys alone.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, you won't find it with a prison boy.
No.
But then what you said is true. That's why dating matters because I got a good friend called Leanne who had an awful relationship after they were together about 9-10 years. They split up, and then she just dated on my advice. I was going, just date, just meet guys, just go and do it, have fun, and eventually one of them you'll go, wow, I want to do it again,
Yeah.
and then it will just sort of happen naturally. That's
Yeah.
the good side of dating.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't.
You're
go
too
out and
busy.
meet loads of people.
Yeah, but then
It's hard.
The fun of it is the going to meals and having the adventure of like, well, maybe it'll be shit, but then it'll be a funny story tomorrow.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
it'll be good. I'll have a great night. And that is part of the excitement of it, isn't it?
Always like it, like on a Friends episode. I like one of those, and you just a good group of
Phoebe
friends,
and
and
Mike.
someone kind of like comes in, and it's nice, and
Yeah.
it's like fluid. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
It's like mutual fluidity.
Oh, some of the great loves that happen over time, where you suddenly realize about someone that, God, I value so much
Absolutely.
more in you than I thought, and suddenly something happens where you see a different side of them or a different spark, and then suddenly the sexual attraction happens, and it changes it, and but it's, love's great.
I love love.
I love love.
I love love.
Yeah. That's
up
nice.
for love.
Like, being in love is nice, and then like having Leo on top of that, like it just that changes. You think you love someone, and then you have a kid, and then it changes what you thought love even was. It just expands into an entire.
It's a
planet
different kind of love, though.
Wow! It changed everything. I didn't know I could love that deeply.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I need a favor from you, the listener. I need you to go to Spotify, click the follow button, and leave us a review or leave a comment. Those simple things, can literally change the trajectory of the podcast. Engage with us that way could literally change our lives and make the show and get the show to where I want to be. So get to Spotify, leave us a 5-star review, click follow. Those things are very, 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 very helpful. Thank you. That would be great. Ladies, thank you both so much for joining me again today.
Thank
I
you
really
for having
appreciate
me
it.
back.
Us again.
Yeah, it's literally any time. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun. I like when it gets a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? I like the sort of funny surface level stuff, but I like when it gets a little bit deeper, so you can talk about real things. I mean, nothing I said will survive. So
I'm sure it was all very relatable.
Very relatable.
I think so. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm shooting for. Well, our audience is men between the age of 35 and 50.
Okay.
So that is a very relatable audience. They'll know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll feel me. So, all right. So, Georgie, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Laura, thanks for coming back.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. And listener, do the Spotify thing I just said. Really appreciate it. Oh, and remember, Graham's Windows and Doors at grahamswindowsanddoors.co.uk. Thanks for listening.
Hiya, you're right. Hi, everyone.